Good evening. Wildfires fanned by hurricane winds have ripped through the Hawaiian island of Maui, leaving at least 6 people dead, forcing thousands to flee and burning one town to the ground. A catastrophic wall of flames creates apocalyptic scenes.
Oh, we made it. We're going to line on the road now pretty soon. But we don't know.
Distraught, in disbelief and racing to escape the flames.
Just go. Go, people, go. Beat the word down. Oh, my God, bro.
Multiple wildfires burning out of control in Hawaii, tearing through the tourist island of Maui.
We don't know how many people are dead, how many buildings have been destroyed.
On the west coast, the town of Lahaina, home to 12,000 people, has been ravaged. On Front Street, buildings that have stood for 300 years consumed by a wall of flames.
I was the last one off the dock when the firestorm came through the banyan tree and took everything with it.
On the harbour, boats and debris alight.
We're done.
At least a dozen residents, including 2 children, had to be rescued from the water. They jumped in to save themselves from the inferno.
I still don't know where my little brother is. I don't know where my stepdad is. Everyone I know in Lahaina, their homes have been burned down.
The fire here is being fueled by Hurricane Dora. That's brought 130 km/h winds. And phone towers have been toppled by the gusts. In a desperate situation, help is increasingly difficult to get.
Communication has been limited and poor. Cell service has been down. In fact, 911 is down as well.
Our hospital system on Maui, they are overburdened with burn patients. The reality is that we need to fly people out of Maui to give them burn support.
How are you feeling, sir?
Right now, I'm just happy to be alive. That's all I can say. Happy to be here and alive.
The priority here has obviously been to get the injured out and to hospitals, but now there's the problem of tourists too. Thousands of them here on this island have been told to evacuate and get out of town. Amid the chaos, Australians reliving their own ordeal.
There was just people screaming everywhere, seeing that flame just get bigger and bigger by the minute. Was just like, wow, we actually need to start acting, responsible. We got to get out of here.
There's another 4,000 visitors that we're expecting who want to leave the island.
Oh my gosh, look at the harbor. Oh my gosh.
From the air, the scale of the tragedy is clear.
This looks like Baghdad or something.
On the ground, this is the heartbreaking reality. A town flattened by flames, a coastal community devastated. Tonight, trying to come to terms with the loss of life and livelihoods. In Maui, Jonathan Kersley, 9 News.
Let's go live to 9's Jonathan Kersley, who's at an evacuation site in Maui. Jono, how are all of these people going to get the help they desperately need?
Well, Peter, that is the huge and ultimate question right now for authorities. This evacuation centre has hundreds of people inside, men, women, children, old people, people who have suffered burns injuries, many of whom are being given food and water and clothing because they fled areas including Lahaina with just the clothes on their back. And local authorities say here now there is a real and growing problem. Simply there is not enough short-term accommodation to deal with all of the people who have lost so much. The US President, Joe Biden, he has promised every federal asset he can possibly offer. He's mobilised the National Guard, he's brought in Black Hawk helicopters to assist with the firefighting effort, and Australia too says it stands ready to help if it is asked. Because, Peter, tonight here in Maui, it is help that is needed, and it's needed in large volumes and quickly.
All right, Jono, thank you. As fires sweep Maui and parts of Europe amid soaring temperatures, Lizzie Pearl is here with what summer in the southern hemisphere could bring.
While crews battle wildfires on the Hawaiian tourist island of Maui, Portugal is also facing baking temperatures and 3 out-of-control blazes. Smoke from vast forest fires in Russia is hanging over a far eastern city, and Canada has set a new record for the largest area burned by wildfires in a single year. And last month, fires in Italy and Greece too, raging on the island of Rhodes. After July was confirmed as the warmest month on record, many climate scientists now say 2023 is tracking to be the warmest year on record. Winter has been masquerading as spring across large parts of Australia, the continent heading for a summer return of the warmer, drier El Nino weather event linked to heat waves and bushfires. A former Australian Defence Force chief says we aren't ready for what the Northern Hemisphere is seeing.
When the UN Secretary General talks about climate boiling, and you see the news coming out of Hawaii right now, we're going to have a very unbearable summer in some parts of Australia due to temperature in the near future. And we're very unprepared for dealing with that.
Let's all hope he's wrong.
Lizzie, thank you.
This is filmed at 11:30 p.m. As I'm taking a look and surveying the fire, I'm actually not really in any of the wind. And then as you can see, I'm panning and turning around, and in the distance you can see some of those lights. That's where I flew from. That's about 2,600 meters away, where Maui Brewing is. As I'm flying towards the smoke, kind of at a sideways trajectory, I will pan more to the right to see the fire. I start to come into the wind, and you can see the drone kind of picks up speed a little bit because I'm going with the wind, and I wanted to give you a feel of how fast the fire is going, so I moved to it. Please, if you have any footage of any fire anywhere on footage, lots of footage is getting deleted, pictures are getting deleted, and people don't really know the severity, which is really stupid. You can see here it's moving probably about 1.5 to 3 miles an hour, somewhere in that ballpark, and it's heading kind of more toward the Monsanto area. And I kind of poke through the smoke here, as I'm flying with it. That's kind of like Kihei in the distance you see. Guys, please stay safe. It looks like Lahaina is absolutely devastated, and it's going to be a long recovery, guys. Stay tight.